What happens if you're on your periods or that?
So there's a trick to that. Because actually, the first time when I first got in the industry, obviously I didn't know. I didn't know, obviously, about stuff like that. So I was actually booked into a scene and I came on my period and I kind of was like, I rang them up and I said, oh, I can't come in. Like, I've come on my period. And then they put, like, it was one of the women and she came on the phone. She went, oh, no, she went, you can still do the scene. I was like, how? Because you can't have blood in porn. It's illegal. For many reasons, because it represents violence. So basically, they were like, oh, you can still do the scene. I was like, how? And then they said, oh, you sponge it. So basically, what that means is you buy a sponge, like a natural sponge, cut it in half, put that up, and then you can still do the scene. It's getting it out after, which is a difficult part. I ended up in A&E once for that reason. It's a very funny story.
Tell me.
So basically, I did this scene. It was a boy-girl scene, so 2 guys and me. Sponged it, because obviously I was on that week. And afterwards, couldn't find the sponge. Could not find it. And don't get me wrong, people were great on set. Like, I mean, I'm not going to say this for every guy in the industry because I don't want to put them all in a position they don't want to be in. But from what I've come across, is if you get it stuck and you can't find it, most of the studs, after they've done the scene, will help you find it. They will get up there and get it out if you need to. So I had the stud and he was trying to get it out. He couldn't get it out. Everyone's up there, like hands are up, like we're trying to get this sponge out. It's not coming out. There for ages. No one could find it. I was like, oh my God, like I'm going to have to go A&E. I'm actually going to have to go to A&E. So embarrassing. Because they make you, like if you go to A&E, they make you go up to the reception desk first and they go, oh, hello, what's the problem? And they kind of make you say it in front of the whole waiting room. And I was like, oh, well, I kind of got this sponge stuck at me. And she was like, I'm sorry, what? I can't hear you. And I'm like, oh my God, so embarrassing. I said, I've got a sponge stuck up me. She's like, I'm sorry, I don't understand. I went, basically, I do porn and I put a sponge up there and it's gone missing. We can't get it out. She was like, okay, just go and sit down. Anyway, I had 3 nurses, right? I was literally in this bloody hospital walled thing. 3 nurses, legs right back. They're all up there trying to fish this bloody sponge out. No one could find it. Nobody could find it, right? It even turned out, one of the nurses said to me, she went, are you sure it didn't fall out because we can't find it? I went, no, it hasn't bloody fallen out. Like, I would have known. I would have known. It's still there somewhere. I mean, how far can it go? Let's be realistic. Like, if you look at a woman's body, there's only so many places it can go. It's not going to be up here, like it could only be a certain height. Eventually, the even more embarrassing thing was I had a boyfriend at the time who had only been with for 2 weeks and he's sitting there in the hospital with me with my legs back, like watching these nurses fish it out. And I'm going, it's just a normal day, just a normal day at work for me. And they were asking him to help. The poor guy. Put it this way, he didn't date me again after that.
Poor bastard, traumatised.
Yeah, traumatised him, I think. Whereas, my husband now, he'd be made to sit there and help. But yeah, they found it in the end. It had gone really far up. But yeah, you do have situations like that happen on set, and it is a real thing that happens and people don't realise it. No. That's certain things that go into it.